For the first time in 2 decades, this is truly fascinating. We are learning about what happened during a private Oval Office meeting between then President George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, and 10 members of the 9/11 Commission, where they got to ask them basically anything they wanted about what happened leading up to those attacks. CNN's Tom Foreman has more.
Yeah, this really is a fascinating document when you look at it. Secret until recently, like a time capsule that steps out and says, what did they know leading up to this attack? And could that have utterly changed everything that happened in the world since then?
Out of the confusion following the 9/11 attack came key questions. Did then President George W. Bush and his team see it coming? And could they have stopped it?
Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature.
The recently declassified report from April 2004 shows him pushing back firmly against that whole idea. No one said there was a problem domestically. The threat was overseas. That's what the report says Bush told members of the 9/11 Commission during an extraordinary question and answer session that lasted more than 3 hours about his reaction to the attack and his administration's intelligence gathering. The report, which is not an official transcript, summarizes his explanations. We were aware that bin Laden had sympathizers in the United States prior to the attack, but there was no actionable intelligence on such a threat, not one. When a commissioner noted there was intelligence about specific attacks being planned, Bush repeated, overseas.
We all understood bin Laden's attempt to strike the homeland.
What's more, the report says when asked about intelligence reports of domestic threats, Bush replied, if they came in and said we found a cell, Bush's action would have been destroy it. In another section, a commissioner pushes the then president to explain his reaction to an intelligence report just a month before 9/11 entitled, Bin Laden Determined to Strike in U.S. The president said since he was aware that al-Qaeda agents were being tracked in America, he had asked for it, that report, and it didn't say anything about a specific attack.
In this meeting in the Oval Office, he made clear that, yes, they could see dots of information all over the place ahead of time, but even the best intelligence officers in the world couldn't connect them into a constellation that warned of this specific event in a way that they might be able to prevent it. In the end, it is clear in this document that Bush does say, I had the responsibility, but he clearly sees that as something different than having the blame. Caitlin?
Yeah, and it's so rare to get a look inside something like this. Clearly we haven't.
It's quite a read.
Yeah, for 2 decades. Definitely worth the read. Tom Foreman, thank you.